Max is breaking all kinds of records with that fight.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I'm just gonna I put down on last set Instagram the other night. If you're not following us, please do. That you shouldn't count out Calvin Kattar because he is as tough as nails. And I put up a video of him when he whacked around Jeremy Stevens. Put up a friendly reminder not to count out Calvin Kattar. And once again, even though he lost this fight,
He's tough.
he is tough as fucking nails. But I wanted to start by asking you the question: do you feel like his corner should have thrown in the towel?
I don't know, because this was like the second ever UFC fight that ended with a 50-42.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
second...
much 50-42.
50-42. I think two judges... One judge, I think, did 50-43, and two judges did 50-42. I'm pretty sure. Two of them. So, there's... Of course, Holloway won that, like, easily. I don't know if... He was collecting a lot of damage. It was mainly just volume of strikes.
Yeah.
It just shows how tough Calvin is. I don't know if they should have thrown in the towel because, it's difficult there. It's difficult because he was very, very, very tough. But it was like the volume of strikes he was taking. I don't know. It's a tough decision for any coach to actually throw in the towel, stop the fight. Or usually when a fight gets stopped in that way and they're absorbing a lot of blows, it's done by doctor stoppage. It's not done by the coach. The coach doesn't usually stop it. I don't know. So sometimes these fighters can be too tough for their own good, but damn, he's tough. Damn, he's a beast himself. And everyone was saying, look, he's one of the best boxers in the UFC. And I agree. I think his boxing ability is so high in the featherweight division. Holloway's just on another level.
Yeah, because I'm so glad you brought that up as well, because Daniel Cormier even said it was like watching Muhammad Ali in there, the way that he just literally just danced around Calvin Kattar, even though it's all these memes not memes, but all like these like comparison photos to Muhammad Ali to Max Holloway. Look, there's one more thing I just wanted to bring up real quick. I saw this just earlier on. I just took a screenshot. This is from one of the guys we follow, Combat Talk. Shout out to Combat Talk. So listen to this. Max Holloway is nearing on 3,000 significant strikes landed. Has just destroyed Kattar. Has never been knocked down. I swear he got knocked down against Conor McGregor.
He's been taken down.
Okay, never been knocked down. Has beaten Aldo twice. Fought at another weight class. Has been a dominant champion, and he's only 29.
It's because he came into the UFC, I think, at 21.
There you go.
One of his first fights was a short notice fight against Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor had a different opponent lined up, and then the guy pulled, like most of Conor's opponents do, pulled out, and Holloway slid in, I think, with about 2-3 weeks notice or something like that. So, I mean, that fight's brilliant as well. If to go back and watch Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway, that's a really good, a very technical fight to watch. I mean, Holloway's as technical as it comes. And what's interesting is he didn't spar this entire camp.
Again?
He didn't spar at all.
Again?
The reasoning why, I know you're going to ask why didn't he do that. So the reasoning why was his last fight against Volkanovski, he argues that he should have won. 80 or 90% of the fans believe Holloway won. And a lot of the other athletes in the UFC believe Holloway won. So he thinks, well, if I didn't spar in that last fight, and that was one of my best, performances in the octagon, why should I spar and risk that damage later on in this fight? So that's what he did. He didn't spar. Damn, he looks good. He looks fresh.
Yeah.
Just technically sound and very fast and nimble, and his own fight IQ, just ability. He's always got such a good ability to switch things up on the fly, and very creative in the cage.
He just has really good combinations as well. He threw a lot of body shots in this round. He threw a lot of hooks to the body, a lot of uppercuts. Another thing is just that the fact that he's 29 as well. He's breaking his own records. There's two things I learned. One, what's it going to be like when this man in a couple of years is in his prime? Still in his 20s, still so much time to learn and improve. Especially he's very smart, because if he's not sparring and he's not taking any damage in training, you know what I mean, he's saving it all for the fight. Next thing is oh shit, forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yes, it shows again the gas tank on this man. Like the round where he landed the most amount of strikes was the last round. There are very few fighters on.
I thought it was round 4.
Round four. So sorry, 5th round. There are very few fighters, right, who can what's it called? There are very few fighters out there who can actually up the pace, but exponentially when it comes to those last 2 rounds. Usually, when a lot of fighters, when it gets those last 2 rounds, that's when they really start to gas out, because they've expended all their energy in the first, second, third rounds, because some don't even become done by the 3rd round. No, not him. He just goes up and up, basically. If there was like another round, he probably would have tried and got even more punches in. It just goes to show that, okay, he's a volume puncher with a tremendous gas tank. He doesn't have a lot of knockout power.
Whenever he has got a TKO, it tends to be he breaks them down with his volume. He breaks them down, just like let's say like Colby.
Yeah.
Gas tank for days, incredible volume puncher, very technical as well, technically sound when it comes to his boxing skills.
Yeah.
He breaks them down, they curl up, breaks them down more, and then he starts to fire off these heavier shots, and he gets the TKO, the ref calls it off. So that's typically what happens. I mean, everyone was so impressed by Max. I mean, a lot of people thought it was the performance of the year, and definitely one of his best performances yet against... I mean, Calvin Kattar is a scary guy. A lot of people are still saying now he's got more to learn, but he'll be a champ one day. I mean, these New England guys are tough bastards. The same with Rob Font, tough bastard as well. So I'd like to see what happens next for Holloway, because, most likely he's to fight the winner of Brian Ortega and Alex Volkanovski, or maybe has a second fight and then fights for the title.